In this video, we'll go over the steps for installing the Woder Direct Connect water filter. The procedures are the same for all of the Woder Direct Connect type filters listed here. The Woder Undersink water filter comes with everything you need. The easy installation takes just minutes, no plumbing tools or know-how needed. Start by writing the date of installation on the filter for future reference. Next, turn off the cold water supply to your sink. Disconnect the existing hose that leads to the faucet from the water supply valve. Connect the inlet hose of the water filter to the water supply valve. The inlet hose is on the left side of the filter. And connect the outlet hose of the filter to the faucet hose. Secure the filter using the provided screws in a convenient location under your sink. Turn the cold water supply valve back on. And activate the filter by allowing the water to flow for 3 minutes. Now don't drink this water, it may contain black carbon particles.
We've always been concerned about the chemicals and contaminants in our water. We're a very active family and we drink a lot of water, so we wanted something, that was safe for us to drink and tasted good as well. We probably drink about 3 gallons of water a day. I even take my water with me throughout the day, and my kids have learned to drink the water as well. They used to hate drinking tap water, but now they love the water from our system. The initial price tag on this filter is why I was stuck with the cheaper filters for so long. But after replacing filters at about $20 and buying bottled water, we eventually swapped over to this system, and it's actually saved us money. We are absolutely satisfied with this system. It's been a total game changer in our house. Everybody loves the water, we're drinking more water, and I would recommend this system to everyone.
Brondell water filtration products utilize standard plumbing connections called Quick Connect. There are 3 parts to the Quick Connect system: the tubing, the coupling, and the collet, which is a small ring inside the coupling. To use the Quick Connect system, simply insert the 1/4-inch tubing into the coupling and push all the way in. Pull slightly on the tube to ensure it is snug. To remove the tubing or to disconnect any coupling, press down on the collet to hold it in place against the coupling and pull the tubing out. If you do not hold the collet down, the tubing will not come out and the connection will get tighter. Press down on the collet to release and remove the tubing. The Cypress water filtration system utilizes the Quick Connect system and comes with a tool to press on the collet in the direction of the coupling and pull it away from the filter. Follow the same process to remove the gray plug at the back of the Cypress system. If you have any questions, please contact Brondell Customer Service for additional assistance.
You know, a lot of people make an assumption that the water is safe. Oftentimes, your water looks fine, but it's not fine. I have people ask me all the time, what filter should I use? And I've always said I don't recommend any filters because I don't know any filters that work. But through all my years of experience and working with experts and water quality experts, we've known that reverse osmosis is the safest way to remove contaminants from water. And it wasn't until I came upon AQUA that I actually went, okay, well, this is a pretty cool little system. AQUA for me is something that's truly unique. For the first time, I have found a reverse osmosis system that I use in my home, that I share with my friends and my family and my grandchildren. So I'm Erin Brockovich, and I'm here today to talk to you about AQUA.
The installation of Frizzlife MK99 water filter system is super easy. First, you need to take off the bracket off from the filter system. Find the right place to mount the plastic bracket. Make sure it's at least 4 inches lower than the bottom of your basin. Use an electric screwdriver to fasten the screws. The MK99 is big enough to stand itself, so not mounting the bracket will also be fine. Remove the filter head from the filter system. Find the inlet hose, which with a female end, and connect the inlet water hose to where it is marked supply on the filter. Make sure the rubber O-ring is inside. Find the outlet hose, which with male ends, and connect the outlet water hose to where it is marked filtered on the filter. Make sure the rubber O-ring is inside. Then mount the filter head back to the bracket and twist the container back in. Go to the cold water angle valve, shut off the water supply, and remove the existing hose. Connect the inlet hose to the angle valve. If it doesn't fit, use with the brass converter in the parts bag. Connect the outlet hose to the hose you just removed and hand tighten. Then turn on the angle valve and check for leaks. Flush the water for 3 to 5 minutes before you can use. The container may be a little too tight to open. It's normal because the container can stand over 35 bars of pressure. The wrench is like a key whenever you need to change the filter. So please don't throw it away. If it is broken or lost, you can contact us at support@frizzlife.com to claim for new ones.
the water line that comes in is from here, and it's flowing in this direction. So we teed off right here to get the water through the filter system, and we still have the option of bypassing the whole system so that we can do maintenance on this. We can shut the handles off and the water can continue to the house while we do maintenance on this, so we don't have to shut everything down. So the water comes across this direction and up, and it goes through this pre-sediment filter. It's a spin down filter. Then we go through the stage filter, which is the fine sediment is the first part, and the second part is the carbon filter, which takes out the chlorine and the tastes and the weird things that are in the water that make it taste funny. And then on ours, on this last one, we have an iron and manganese filter. We have well water, so we're trying to filter out those heavy metals. And then after that, it goes through the biofilter, which is just a UV light which kills any bacteria that can get through the system. And then it ties right back in up at the top with another valve. And to do maintenance on it, it's simple, just turning handles, and then we can just screw these off, put in new filters, and the filter on this is super simple to clean out. So inside these filter containers are the filters, and they are still sealed with plastic, so we have to open these. So the first filter in the line is a sediment filter. It picks up the particles of sand, rust, and scale. The second filter in the series is for picking up chlorine and things like that, the things that make the water taste funny. And the last one is for the heavy metals of iron and manganese. We just need to install those on the bracket, which I already have installed on the wall. And it's just as simple as taking the piece and screwing it straight in and making sure that it gets tight. There's a wrench for it. The filters go in very easily and smoothly. It doesn't take a lot of effort to turn the filter with a wrench, but everything here is cast iron. It's very heavy duty. The easiest thing I found to do is just to push this up and put my finger in the center of the bottom and just spin it on my finger to get it to go straight in. Just give it about a quarter of a turn. And that's it, it's that simple. The next thing we need to do is prep all our fittings. Since I have 3/4 inch line, and this has a 1 inch inlet, we have to reduce down to 3/4. So we have to use Teflon tape on everything. Always lay it on there in the direction that it tightens. And I usually do about 3 times around. The reason I do it in the direction it tightens is if you do it in the other direction, when you tighten, it will actually just spin back out of the threads. So this keeps it, as you're tightening the thread, the fitting in, it stays on the threads. When we do change these filters out, before we unscrew this, there's a pressure relief button here and here and here, and that will release the pressure that's inside of this closed loop system. There's just a small closed loop here that has pressure still on it, and we just release it with those buttons, and then this just comes off.
Now you can experience the convenience of clear, clean, great-tasting water for drinking or cooking right at your kitchen sink by installing the Culligan Easy Change drinking water filtration system with dedicated faucet. This premium undersink filtration system, available in 3 different models with 3 different levels of filtration, is quick and easy to install and avoids the mess of changing out traditional cartridges experienced with other undersink systems. To replace a cartridge, just twist and pull down to remove, and push up and twist to install a new one. Most importantly, the Culligan Easy Change filtration system begins to impact the quality and flavor of your water immediately. For up to 1 year between filter cartridge changes, this system reduces chlorine by up to 97% and particulates by up to 99%, while reducing bad taste and odor and other contaminants such as lead, cysts, and VOCs. Go to CulliganDIY.com for details on filtration performance for each of the 3 models. The Easy Change Undersink filtration system comes complete with everything you need for setup and operation, including the attractive chrome faucet. Installation is simple and takes only minutes on most sinks with some common household tools. Here's a checklist. Let's start by mounting the dedicated faucet. Installation of the faucet works best for sinks with pre-drilled holes, typically used for soap dispensers or water sprayers. If drilling is required, consult the installation instructions for proper technique. Begin by removing the cap or device already in place. In this case, a soap dispenser. Just unscrew the plastic nut under the sink to release the device. Insert spout into faucet body. Tighten by screwing the spout nut onto the threads on the faucet body. Slide the black rubber gasket onto threaded faucet stem, and then lower faucet stem through hole in sink. Accessing the faucet from underneath the sink, slide the metal washer up the faucet stem, followed by the white plastic stem nut. Tighten with fingers to secure faucet to sink. Do not use pliers. Next, we install the water supply adapter. Turn off cold water supply line. Turn on cold water at faucet and allow all water to drain from line. Disconnect cold water line from 1/2-inch diameter threaded stub on the bottom of the cold water faucet inlet. Apply Teflon tape onto male threads of faucet stub and supply adapter. Screw the water supply adapter to the threaded faucet stub. Using the nut that previously connected the cold water line to the faucet, screw the cold water line to the male supply adapter threads. Hand tighten and snug with wrench. Next, let's mount the filter assembly. Select a location under the sink to mount the filter assembly. Allow at least 1.5 inches below the filter cartridge to enable cartridge changes, or 12 inches below the filter head. The filter head should be mounted in a vertical position on a stud or firm surface. Use mounting bracket as a template to mark screw locations. Using a drill bit slightly smaller than the screws supplied, drill pilot holes in the cabinet. Be aware of what's behind the cabinet wall. Mount filter head in marked location using supplied screws. With the filter assembly mounted, now it's time to connect it to the supply adapter. Determine the amount of plastic tubing needed to connect the inlet of the filter with the supply adapter. Be sure to allow enough tubing to prevent kinking and cut the tubing squarely. Place a mark 5/8 inches from both ends of the tubing, and then insert into the supply adapter until the mark is flush with fitting. Then insert the other end of tubing into the filter inlet until the mark is flush with fitting. Next, we connect the filter to the dedicated faucet. Determine the amount of plastic tubing needed to connect the outlet of the filter with the faucet. Again, cut the tubing squarely. Slide compression nut over tubing, followed by the ferrule. Then place insert into end of tubing. Push the tubing firmly into the end of the faucet stem and hand tighten the compression nut onto threads until secure. Then tighten approximately 1/2 turn with a wrench. Now remove the battery from the side of the cartridge and put inside the slot just below the Culligan logo on the faucet. Once the battery is inserted correctly, the LED will blink red for about 30 seconds. Then it will shut off. To indicate the filter needs to be changed within a 30-day time frame, it will flash yellow. When the filter needs to be changed immediately, it will flash red. The battery should be changed every time a filter is changed. Now let's install the filter cartridge. We're installing the US EZ4 here, but all 3 Easy Change models install with the same simple push and twist motion into the same filter housing. Hold cartridge from the bottom when installing. Line up the arrow on the cartridge with unlocked padlock symbol on the head. Insert cartridge by pushing up and then turn arrow to locked padlock symbol. Turn on water supply valve. Look above and below for leaks. If there is a leak, turn off water and read Troubleshooting section in Installation Guide. To operate, rotate handle of filter faucet counterclockwise to on position. Allow water to run 10 minutes to flush air and carbon fines from the system. You are now ready to enjoy clean, clear, great-tasting Culligan water for drinking or cooking right at your kitchen sink.